Hello everyone, welcome to Home Cooking with me Hema Subramanian. South Indian meals are always very special and very flavorful and tasty. Today I'm going to share a wonderful combination of vegetarian meal recipes. So let's get started and check them out. First we need to cook the dal for making this sambar. I'm taking about half cup of nicely washed Toor Dal in the pressure cooker. This is a 125 ml cup measurement. To the pressure cooker, add 2 tomatoes roughly chopped. Also add a few garlic cloves. Now add 1 teaspoon turmeric powder and mix it well. Next add half teaspoon of salt. Now add enough water in the pressure cooker to make sure that the dal is completely immersed. Cover the cooker with the lid and place the weight. Maintain the flame on medium heat and pressure cook the dal for about 5 whistles for it to become nice and soft. After 5 whistles, you can turn off the stove and keep the cooker aside. Next, to make the sambar, I'm taking a nice wide kadai here. Add 1.5 tablespoons of oil to the kadai and heat it. Once the oil is hot enough, add 1 teaspoon of Urad Dal, 1 teaspoon cumin seeds, half teaspoon mustard seeds and saute. Once the mustard seed starts splattering, add 2 red chilies cut into half and 1/4 teaspoon of hing. To this add 1 finely chopped onion and mix well. Saute the onions for about 2 minutes on medium-low flame. After 2 minutes, add a few fresh curry leaves and 3 roughly cut up green chilies. Now add 2 medium-sized radishes. I have cut them into medium thickness slices. Mix all these well. So if you're making a radish sambar, you don't need to add any other vegetables because radish has a unique taste and it also adds a wonderful flavor to the sambar. Now add 1 teaspoon of rock salt, 1 teaspoon red chilli powder and 1 teaspoon coriander powder and mix everything well. You can also add sambar powder if you like, but there is no need for it in this recipe. Keep the flame on medium and cook the radish slices for about 2 minutes to make sure it absorbs the salt and chilli powder well. After 2 minutes, I'm adding half cup of water. Mix it all well and cover the kadai with a lid. Cook the radish for about 10 minutes to make sure the raw smell is all gone. After 10 minutes, add 1/4 cup of slightly thick tamarind puree and mix it well. At this point, you can add some water to dilute the masala. Now gently transfer the cooked dal mixture to the kadai and give it all a nice quick mix. You can see the sambar is looking really good. Now this is a bit thick in texture, so I'm adding a little more water here. Just give it a nice mix and let the sambar cook for about 10 minutes on medium-low flame to let all the flavors blend together. After 10 minutes, I'm checking for seasoning here. I'm adding about 1 teaspoon of salt just to balance the taste. Finally, I'm adding some finely chopped coriander leaves and some fresh grated coconut for a mild flavor. Give it all a nice mix and turn off the stove. Yummy radish sambar is ready to be served nice and hot with some nice hot steaming rice and ghee. I'm getting a wonderful aroma here. Just garnish it with some finely chopped fresh coriander leaves and this is good to go. So for making the avial, I have kept all the required vegetables ready here. It looks so colorful and beautiful. I will tell you what all these are. This is yam, this is carrot, this is a mango, that is country cucumber. Next is the snake gourd, raw banana, ash gourd, beans, pumpkin, drumsticks and sour mangoes. Make sure you can cut all these into long and even sized pieces. Now for making the curry, we first have to prepare the masala. To a mixer jar, add 3/4 cup of freshly grated coconut, 5 roughly cut green chilies, 9 to 10 shallots, half teaspoon cumin seeds and a few fresh curry leaves. Grind these ingredients without adding any water. Keep bringing the masala to the middle and grind until the mixture is fully coarsely ground without any big chunks left behind. Once done, transfer this masala to a bowl and keep it aside. I'm taking a wide kadai for this recipe because it will be easier for me to saute the vegetables. Add 1 tablespoon of coconut oil and let it heat. Now add 1 bowl of yam pieces. Next add 1 bowl of snakegourd pieces. Now add 1 bowl of raw banana pieces, 1 bowl of ashgourd, 1 cup of beans, 1 cup of carrots, 1 cup of pumpkin pieces, 1 cup of the country cucumber pieces, 1 cup drumstick pieces and 1 cup of mango pieces. Mix everything gently. Now add half teaspoon of turmeric powder and 1 teaspoon of salt. Mix the veggies again and make sure they're all coated with salt and turmeric powder evenly on all sides. Now for cooking these vegetables, add quarter cup of water and give it all a quick mix. Cover the kadai with a lid and cook the vegetables for about 10 minutes on medium-low flame. After 10 minutes, as you can see, all these have become soft and nice. You need not overcook the veggies because they can get mashed up and the texture will be ruined. So make sure your veggies are cooked yet firm enough, just like the ones you are seeing here. At this point, you can add the ground masala and mix well. Mix this all gently again. You can check for seasoning at this point and add if you need more salt. Fresh coconut is a must for avial. It gives all the flavor to this dish. I'm getting a nice aroma after mixing the ground masala. Now comes the next important step. We need to add 1 cup of nicely whisked curd to the kadai. Keep the flame on low and then add the curd. Only then the veggies will not get burnt, and mix the curd along with the vegetables gently. Once you mix everything together nicely, cover the kadai with a lid and cook the curry for 5 minutes on a low flame to just let the raw smell go away. That's all, our avial is ready now. Now you can turn off the stove and keep this aside. Take a tempering pan, add about 3 teaspoons of coconut oil. Once the oil is hot enough, add 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds, 1 teaspoon cumin seeds and a quarter teaspoon of Asafoetida, that is Hing. Now I'm adding about 6 finely chopped shallots to this. Shallots are optional. If you don't want, you don't have to add them. It's just that it adds a little extra flavor to the curry. Once the shallots are cooked a bit, add the fresh curry leaves and saute. The tempering is ready, so turn off the heat and transfer this to the avial. Gently mix the tempering with the curry. The aroma is amazing and the flavors are also so good. That's it. South Indian avial is ready to be served. You can enjoy it as is and it's extremely tasty, and I'm not at all exaggerating. A lot of people like this a bit gooey, so if you're looking for such consistency, you can just add a little bit of water to get that consistency. I have all the ingredients ready for the recipe here. I have already cut the plantain into slices. I've taken 3 large plantains, cut them into medium-sized slices, and I have put them in salt water. So this way the color of the plantain will not change. Next I'm going to make the spice mix that will coat the plantain slices. To a small bowl or a cup, add 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 2 teaspoons chilli powder, 1 teaspoon pepper powder, 2 teaspoons cumin powder, 2 teaspoons coriander powder, 1 teaspoon garam masala powder, 1 teaspoon salt and a pinch of hing, that is Asafoetida powder. Now mix everything well. After mixing the spice powders, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of rice flour, 1.5 tablespoons of gram flour, that is besan, 2 teaspoons suji rava or semolina. Now mix everything well. So our masala mix for the plantain fry is ready. Just transfer it to a plate and just spread it out evenly. Now place the plantain slice on the masala mix and coat it well on both the sides. So you can see the piece is coated beautifully. Keep this aside. Follow the same method for all the plantain slices. Make sure it's all coated well. Once you've done that, keep it aside. Take a nice tawa or a flat pan. We're going to fry this on a tawa. Just pour a little bit of oil and spread it across on all the sides of the tawa. Now place the coated plantain slices onto the tawa. We're going to fry these in batches. Keep the flame on medium while frying. You can add a few teaspoons of oil on top. Once the slices are cooked and fried on one side, gently flip it to the other side. You can gently press the slices with a spoon to make sure that it is fried evenly. Wow, just look at those plantain slices, how beautifully that's fried. I'm just garnishing with a few fried curry leaves. So if you see, the slice is cooked perfectly on the inside and it's got this lovely crispy texture on the outside. For this recipe, first I'm taking 1 cup of fresh curd and whisk it really well. This step is essential to ensure the curd is smooth and lump-free, giving our curd rice that perfectly creamy texture. Next, I've got half cup of well-cooked rice, completely cooled to room temperature. You can use it as is or mash it slightly like I'm doing here. It's totally up to you. Now to the mashed rice, I'm adding the whisked curd. To this, add 1 teaspoon of salt and mix everything thoroughly. The measurement here should be 1:2 ratio. So for 1 cup of rice, we have to take 2 cups of curd. This keeps the curd rice gooey and soft, just like how it's served in temples. Once that's mixed, let's move on to the most exciting part, the tempering. In a small pan, heat 2 teaspoons of oil. Once it's hot, add 1 teaspoon of Urad Dal and roast until golden. Then toss in half teaspoon of cumin seeds and half teaspoon of mustard seeds, followed by 3 roughly chopped dried red chilies. Add 3 roughly chopped green chilies, a bit of finely chopped ginger and a few fresh curry leaves. For added flavor and taste, crush a few peppercorns and add them in. Half teaspoon of Asafoetida powder and half teaspoon of turmeric powder. Turmeric powder is optional, but this gives our curd rice a soothing yellow color and nice flavor. Saute everything well, then turn off the heat and pour the sizzling tempering straight over the curd rice mixture. Give it all a good mix. Now look at that beautiful color from the turmeric. You can taste at this point and adjust the salt if needed. Finally, sprinkle in some freshly chopped coriander leaves, stir once more and let the curd rice rest for 1 hour. This allows the flavors to soak in beautifully. And there you have it, this delicious, creamy, mildly spiced curd rice that is so satisfying. The curd rice is so flavorful and so refreshing. You can enjoy it as is or with some nice pickle by the side. All these recipes are incredibly tasty and the flavors are authentic and delicious. So do give them a try, enjoy and share it with your family and friends. Check out the product tags below if you'd like to shop the items I use in this video. For the detailed recipe, go to our HomeCookingShow.in website. The second edition of the home cooking book is now available on Amazon as well as on shop.homecookingshow.in.